Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I want to do a story time because I always saw story times on YouTube and I always thought they were super interesting. I love hearing about people's lives. I've always been a huge listener. I love hearing about everything about people, their experiences, big moments in their lives. It's really exciting. Um, Today I wanted to share a story time about how Dakota asked me to marry him and how I found out I was pregnant. Yeah, y'all might be thinking, well, those are two huge, very important steps and experiences that happen in your life. Why wouldn't you make it in 2 videos? Well, that's the thing. They kind of go together in a sense because something huge kind of happened on the night that Dakota asked me to marry him. So let's just go back to the very beginning. That day I was at work and Dakota texted me and was like, hey, let's go do something tonight, which wasn't uncommon. At the time we just moved in together, so we loved going on late night adventures and different things like that. So we went down to downtown Chattanooga and we walked across the walking bridge, which I always love doing. We always love looking at the water. We always loved the water. So we were walking. We couldn't go across the walking bridge because it was in 2020 and it was when COVID first started and everything was blocked off up there. So we were just walking around. Well, in downtown Chattanooga, there's another little bridge closer to the aquarium and it's a huge boat dock. Well, we were walking down the boat dock and we're looking around, which isn't uncommon. It's funny though, because there was another couple on there and they were just talking, sitting on the bench, and then there was a homeless guy there, which is kind of sketchy, but it was fine. And we walked down and we were looking. We were kind of having like a Titanic moment where he was standing behind me and everything, and he told me to turn around, which was weird, very weird. And I turned around and I looked down and I saw him on one knee, which I instantly started crying. I didn't think that was gonna happen. And he asked me to marry him, which of course I said yes. And we were walking back to our car and I called my parents, he called his, FaceTime, all that other stuff, la la la. And I was like, you know, I really want Waffle House. Waffle House, we always went to Waffle House. We loved Waffle House. It was one of our go-to places, so it wasn't weird or anything. So we went to Waffle House around like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, man, this is really making me sick. And which was weird, but it wasn't weird because I get sick off food sometimes. And we went back to our apartment and I'm like, I'm really feeling sick, so I just kind of went to bed, laid down and everything, and I got up the next morning for work still feeling really sick. So I'm like, oh great, I got food poisoning. And I was just like, crap. And we took and he dropped me off at work and everything. And where I used to work, we used to go out and get food instead of eating at our job. And I got hibachi, which hibachi never made me sick at all. So I was eating it and it started making me sick. And I'm like, crap, I actually have food poisoning. Thankfully, the next day I was off. And the next day I just lay in bed all day. I was just like, screw it. I don't want to anymore. I'm tired. I don't feel good. I'm laying in bed. And I got Dakota to get some soup, because soup always makes me feel better. And he went and got some soup, and I threw it up completely. Just threw everything up. And I was just like, you know, I guess it's normal with food poisoning, you throw up everything. So I started getting really suspicious because I stayed sick the entire time. And I got one of my friends from my work to go get a pregnancy test from Walgreens. And I went home. I tried to kind of hide the pregnancy test from Dakota because I didn't really want him to like freak out on me. And I went home and he saw them and he was like, what are these, you know? And I was just like, you know, I'm having suspicions that, you know, I'm pregnant because, you know, I've been so sick. And I took the pregnancy test. I only took one. The box came with two. I took one of the pregnancy tests and I was just like, I don't want to look at it. Just not gonna look at it. So I set a 5-minute timer and I handed it to Dakota. And when the timer went off, he flipped it over. And he looked at me and told me I need to go take the other one. And I'm like, why? And it was 2 lines. He wanted me to make sure that it was correct. It wasn't a false positive. And I was like, okay, so I took the other one, and not even 2 seconds after I peed on it, it was 2 lines. And in that moment, I was super scared, but super excited. I always dreamed of being a mom. It was always a big dream of mine. So I took Anne the next day. I called the doctor's offices and everything. Hold on 1 second. Like I was saying, I called all the doctor's offices and I made an appointment. And I was just like, you know, I'm pregnant. I don't know how far along I am. But I do know I'm pregnant. And that was, when I took my pregnancy test, it was May 6th. So it was around May 7th. I called and they were like, okay, well, we won't be able to get you in for 2 weeks. I was like, okay. So I waited 2 weeks for my first doctor's appointment. And guys, when I say I got my first ultrasound and I cried. I mean, when I got my first ultrasound and I heard my child's heartbeat for the first time, I squalled like a baby. It was the most exciting thing ever. Still very scared, but it was exciting. There's nothing like hearing your child's heartbeat for the first time. Like, it's the most surreal moment ever. So when I came home, we got more soup from Olive Garden, and I just kind of laid there crying. He was crying. It was just crazy. One of those things, when we found out we were pregnant, I originally wanted to have our wedding that December of 2020, December 20th. And when we went to go get our first ultrasound, they told us that the due date was December 22nd. And we were like, well, that goes out the door that we can't have it December 20th anymore. So we decided that we had a month to get our stuff together, that we were about to have a wedding. We decided on June 26th, which would have been our 1 year of being together and dating and all this other stuff, that we were going to get married. So we got everything together and we got married on June 26th. No, I'm 100% sure how far along it was, but no one knew. And we announced that we were having a baby at our wedding, which was super exciting. All our family was very supportive and everything. Like, when you're pregnant and you're scared but you're excited all at the same time, there's nothing like having a supportive family behind you. What else to say? Yeah. It's just so real when you look at your baby's face and see all you've been through and everything, and you look at them and they look at you, and you're just like, wow, you know, I made that. I pushed that out, and it's just wow. There's nothing like it. I don't know how else to explain it. On our channel, we are wanting to do so much on our channel. I know I'm wanting to do mommy advice. I was 17 when I found out I was pregnant with Diana. I was about to turn 18. I was turning 18 the 13th of May, and I found out I was pregnant the 6th. As a young mom, it's rough. It is rough. People look at you as a child, but as soon as you get that double line, it's not no more a child, it's you're an adult. You need to figure out how to, you know, take care of yourself and the child at the same time. Luckily, I married a great guy that helps so much with our kids, that loves our kids so much. All I hear out Diana all the time is dada, dada. I couldn't ask for it better. Just know that even if you're going at it alone or with someone, you still have a supportive system. Just know that you're loved, and no matter what, after you have that child, that you're still going to be loved. And, you know, you need that in your life when you're going through that moment of, you know, I'm pregnant and I'm about to have a kid and I don't know what to do, because it is rough. My advice I could give is, you see that baby is gonna be the most magical moment of your life. I remember when I gave birth to Diana, I cried of so many emotions. The happy part that, you know, that pregnancy was over, but the happy part that, you know, I have a child now and it's exciting, to the scary part, I have a child now and it's scary. You know, it's crazy. But, you know, as long as you have that sports and stuff and everything, you're good. You know, luckily, like I said, I have my husband, but I also had his mom and my mom to help me with any questions I had, any fears I had, or anything like that. So, yeah. So if you're wanting any more advice or any more story times or anything like that, just let me know. I will be happy to film them and put them up. So yeah, hope y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all next time.